There is a lot coming through for the collective today. And if this video is for you, you will know it. You will have experienced some dreams, some recent emotional revelations and emotional conversations. You may have even had dreams that were tied to an expression of self, an expression of truth that you have held onto for a long time. This collective that I'm speaking to has been going through a lot of expression clearing, a lot of expression and shame clearing, on top of much else. But specifically, we're going to talk about, I feel, expression today. I've been quite sick this week. My throat has been out, my chest has been heavy. There's been so much that I am purging, and I know that that's been happening within my collective as well. So like I said, this is for you if you've been experiencing those things, and you'll feel that. You'll feel it in your body. You'll either get chills, there'll be some sort of synchronicities, there'll be something. You'll know. I don't need to explain that to you. Like my other channel messages, I'll be doing my skin and makeup today, because that's what is such a cute little flow state for me. Let's get into it. What I'm really hearing is let it soar. Let it soar. I feel like singing could be significant for those of you as well. And I feel that this period of time that we're all going through is significant when it comes to not just what we're saying, okay? Not what we're saying, but what energies have been held back for so long. There's this withholding, and there's this, there's so much suppression here that's been released, and that's being released as I'm talking. Again, you could have been having dreams about this, you could have been just having sickness, or just noticing that there has been a lot of synchronicities reflected in your world when it comes to a deeper level of communication, okay? This isn't surface level stuff here. This is really, really deep. This is what has been hidden. I'm hearing the hidden world, okay? Which is why dream and astral is significant. I'm getting emotional, so there's lots of emotions coming to the surface. There has been so much that this collective has held on to, that you have been holding on to. A way of living, certain emotions, a certain type of existence that has kept you at bay. It has kept you from being in the spotlight. It has kept you from being seen, and not just seen but heard, and not just heard but felt. There's this lack of empathy that you've experienced from people that have purposely misheard you, misjudged you, and victimized you, and have put you at fault in places that were never yours to belong with. And the emotions that I'm feeling is this like grief, and there's this desire, there's this such desire to be free and be reciprocated. To meet the people in your world that are aligned with you, that feel with you, that hear you, that resonate with you, that understand you. There is this deep calling for this soul family, this belonging. And it's been important for this collective, for you to reach this deeper level within your expression when it comes to healing specifically, and when it comes to bringing up what has been hidden, because the only way you're going to reach your people is through your ability to express yourself and to share, because that is how those people are going to hear you. And that's why, if you've been wondering why your throat chakra, like, oh, you've already done so much work with throat chakra, like, why am I still struggling with this? It's not that you're struggling. It's that you're going deeper than ever before, because there's parts of you that have been hidden and that have been suppressed and have been so like almost like cemented in, that you have felt unable to be yourself, and it has stopped you from connecting with people in the way that you've always desired to connect with them. There's been this search for soul family, for community, for this belonging, to know that you aren't alone in this world, because you're not, and that there are people who see you and who hear you. And I think you've been working so much on your fear of being seen that you feel ready now. You feel so much ready than ever before. But the other part of it that you didn't recognize was being heard. Being heard. There's listening, and then there's being heard. And you'll feel that difference in your body. And I'm not just talking about the times where you were silenced. I'm not just talking about the times where you feel like you were cut off or interrupted or misunderstood. I'm talking about the times where people not even did not want to listen, but you weren't chosen. You weren't chosen to be heard, to be loved in the way that you deserved. It goes deeper than mere conversations or even just speaking up for yourself. It goes deeper than that. It's this you felt or have felt that you were not important enough, valuable enough, loved enough to be heard and to be treated in the way in which love asks you to be. There's such depth here, and this healing that you're experiencing, you're not just going to be speaking up more. You're going to be speaking with such clarity and such depth and such truth. And that is this deeper shift in your expression. Like I said, you've become used to or getting better at being confident, expressing yourself and standing up for yourself, and talking about your needs and all those things and the things that you want, and just sharing bits of your life. But this is deep truths, deep soul bearing truths. You have withheld that from yourself and from the collective because you feared that since there has been no one or not many to consistently hear and choose you, well, it's not going to happen again, is it? So, well, it's not going to happen, is it? Because it hasn't happened before. And that's where you're realizing that the only way that you'll be chosen It's not just through your voice, but through your soul expression. Because you don't want to be chosen for surface level things. You don't want to be chosen or seen or heard for the things that you don't care about. You are a deeply loving and feeling being, and you would be chosen for those things. But you have been so scared of not being chosen, so you have not shared those things. And it's not all the time, but it's enough of the time that there's been withholding. And the shifts that you're experiencing, you're going to notice, I'm hearing over the coming weeks, the people that are finding you. It won't be frivolous, it won't be superficial, it won't be nothing. There are people that are coming in for you, into your world, your soul family, your soul community, because you have finally allowed yourself and shown up for yourself in the way that you know that you are worthy of being heard and chosen, because you are not alone. And you have never been alone. And you're realizing that. There's been like this sense of like mystery is what I'm hearing as well. Like you've really been wondering when these shifts are going to take place. You've been doing so much work, like so much work. And I can feel that there's been this maybe impatience. There's been some disbelief at times, or some like, dwindling hope. But your fire has not left you, because you finally reconnected with your fire, and you know that that is what you need to create the world that you want to create. And as much as you will have those down days, and as much as you'll feel your emotions at times and be not burdened with them, but feel the depths of them, you know that there is still more to come. You know, and you have trusted this. And not only do you trust this, you back it up by doing the work, by continuing to take the next step, by continuing to walk your path and create your path and listen to your inner guidance. And that deserves to be celebrated. And I know it's taken some time, and I know it still feels like it's taking so long. But like I said before, like Spirit's been trying to tell you, is that this was needed. Because the depth of the work that you're here to do, the depth of the soul bearing that you are here to do, because you are meant to shift so many people on that deep level. And you have had to march into your trenches, march into the depths of yourself, and feel comfortable expressing that and sharing that and exposing yourself naked and vulnerable and raw to the world. Because that is the only way you would find the people who can meet you on that same level. And that's why it hasn't happened yet in the consistency that you've liked. That's why you haven't found all of your soul family. That's why you haven't built that community that you want to build. Because you've needed to truly dissect and break down all of the barriers that have tried to tell you that you had to be small in order to be chosen, or you had to be a certain way in order to be chosen, in order to be invested in. And it's not that you've changed yourself, it's that you've become more of yourself, more of who you truly are and who you've always been and who you've always known you are. And that's why it's been so hard and treacherous, because your depths used to scare you. You didn't know what it all meant for a long time. You were too young to comprehend it. You could feel it. You could see it. But if it didn't make sense to you, how on earth would it make sense to someone else, is what you would tell yourself. If you're still wrapping your brain around yourself, how on else are you supposed to explain yourself to another? Well, guess what? When it comes to the soul, when it comes to love, like the love that you have within yourself, which means the love that you can share with other people, when it comes to that level of truth and clarity and depth, understanding is not needed in terms of the details or the logistics of things. You simply will share the feeling. You simply will share the deep existence and experiences with another on the level in which it cannot be explained. It doesn't require explanation. Expression is not explanation. That's what you have also struggled with for a long time. Expression isn't about explaining yourself. Expression is about sharing yourself. And that's what you are really, really coming to terms with. And that's what's going to be something that you can be practicing in your day-to-day, in your work, with your friends, with people that you meet. If the connections around you shift and get deeper, it's a testament to the work that you've done on yourself. It's a testament to the trust that you have within yourself. It's a testament to the trust that you have within your world. And you know who you are, and you're continuing to know more of you. Even if you can't intellectualize it and understand it all the time, you can feel, and that is enough. And that is why there are going to be people who are going to start connecting with you on that level and start coming to you and investing in you and choosing you, because they can feel it too. And then it'll probably come to a point where you're like, wow, I wish I've done this sooner. If only I shared myself in this way. If only I was just me in the way that I've always been. But that's okay. Because you know there's been a purpose to this path. You know there's been a purpose to this slowness. You know there's been so much that you've had to unravel. And it's not that you haven't had people. You've just been understanding what they meant to you, and what you meant to them, and what you really wanted in relationships and situations that you had to soon realize wasn't enough for you. You have needed more. You have needed more. And it's not there's anything wrong with these people that you've experienced and been close to and have loved. They were just never going to meet you on the level that you put so much time and energy to meet within them. And your feelings have changed too. There's this depth, but there's this softness, and there's this fire, and they all swirl together. And that's what inspires you and motivates you, is the way that you feel so deeply for your world. And you notice that when you honor your emotions more and more, when you hear them, when you hold space for them, you don't necessarily react. You don't make decisions from those spaces. You just give them the space. You've realized, or you're realizing, that your emotions have never needed anything more than the space to exist. And the space to breathe and the space to move. That'll do it for today. It's really shit, but anyway. Let's get this message wrapped up. The guidance that's coming forward here is to let it soar. Let yourself soar. I'm getting tingles and chills as I'm saying that. Let yourself breathe. You don't need more understanding. Understanding is for the ways in which you operate and the ways in which you respond and make decisions and your patterns. But your emotions, at their core, at their essence, don't require understanding. You know that when you try to instantly understand what you feel, you limit its capacity to be felt. Your emotions need acceptance and nurturing. A mother, a loving mother, loves her children unconditionally. Even if she does not understand all of their emotions, or why they're having tantrums, or why they feel the way they feel. The love does not go. The love is present. The love is unconditional. And that is the kind of love and acceptance you're having for yourself. And you realize now that you've been fighting for so long to be understood, because that's what you thought you needed. But you just needed to be loved and chosen without condition, without fail. And that is now what you are cultivating within every day. And that is what you are going to attract more of in your world, because you now realize that's what you really want. Because that's what you're here to give. That's what you're here to help people reconnect with. Is that level of love above all else. You can't make people see that within themselves. You can't make them realize anything. You can't make them understand. All you can do is share yourself on that level and trust that when people are ready, because they feel that within themselves, they will respond. They will connect. They will choose you. They will invest. They will be attracted to you. That is the levels in which you are operating from now on. And it is going to bring you so much joy, but it's also going to bring you so much security on the emotional, energetic, and physical level. I'll pull a few cards. Success, Six of Acorns, triumph, victory. This is the energy that you've been guided to for so long. You may have actually been experiencing a lot of deja vu because your guides, your soul, your higher self has been doing the most to get you to this point of embodiment. Not just realization in the cognitive sense, embodiment of true love and acceptance of self and everything that comes from that. Specifically your expression and your sharing at this time. And that is what is bringing you success, and that is what is bringing you success in all the areas that you want. I just saw a list, like a ticking off of a list. You have the Tower, spinning to the Tower. It feels like a huge revelation, and it is, but it's this unraveling of the layers that have always existed within you. And there's this sense of freedom, almost a sense of urgency as well, but I feel that will shift into a sense of excitement. And it's purely because you've been operating in a way like feeling unstable or destabilized for so long, and you've finally found stability, or you're going to find stability in this way of being. And that's what's going to shift your world. And it's like, wow, now that I recognize this, I wish I'd been doing this the whole time. That's where the urgency comes from, but it's not urgency, it's just this, it's going to shift into excitement, into trust. We have the Magician. It's like it's a new beginning without it being a new beginning. It's this combination of all this time and energy that's finally being put into focus. There seems to be a decision here as well that's coming up. Let's get some clarity, please, Spirit. I'm also hearing channeling from the heart. So for those that also connected their channel and connected their intuition, this is a time of less about asking to receive and more about receiving internally, and it coming from you in a much different way. Let's get clarity here, please, Spirit. There's a decision and a lens of focus here. It may not feel like a physical decision, it feels more like an energetic embodiment decision of how are you going to live from now on, now that you know the truth. now that you know where your willpower comes from, getting emotional. Now that you know where your source comes from, love, how is that going to shift your focus? How is that going to be embodied and present in all that you do? Those are the questions you're asking yourself from now on. That is what is going to be the basis of how you grow and respond and create. And that is what leads you to more success. Keep your focus on love. You may have been disconnected from this space for a while because of the pain, because of all that you had to unravel. But there's this really deep connection to love that you're settling into nicely in this cocoon again. When you operate from this space, you won't be getting lost in the source. Source as in SAUCE, not source as in source creator. You'll be getting less lost in all of the things around you. You will know that everything around you comes from this space of love, of deeply embodied love and truth. That is all you have ever wanted. It's your time to shine, to share yourself, to stop making yourself digestible, because that's not how you're going to find the people that are waiting for you. You're not always meant to be cognitively understood. You're meant to be felt. Your words hold feeling that ignite more feeling. And that is such a big part of your purpose. To help people remember who they really are at their core, which is love. Love. I'm also hearing something about a book, writing another book. Invest into your space of love. Make your world how you want it to look. Stop thinking about the structuring implications. Stop thinking about what it should look like. Make it how you want to look like. Do whatever you fucking want. That is what is going to call people in, because it's you. Make it you. Make it all you. Because that reflection of true authenticity is a magnet that calls people in for you. You, in your most you-ness, calls the people in their most themness, that's going to align with you. I don't feel much fear there anymore. There's not much fear there. There's just, okay, like, I'm open to the next steps. What's the next steps? The next steps is love. Whatever that means to you. That's what you're here for. I love you.